Hello everyone, let's check this out really quickly. Mad, right? Mad. If this is how Tesla is going to be putting together the Cybertruck, how are people supposed to compete with that? This is gonna be crazy. That was a quick rendering of how the Cybertruck might be produced. Basically, someone online on IG put that together, what they think how Cybertruck will be produced. That is great. You guys see how quick the production was? We're just pumping it out. I think Cybertruck should do about 1 million by the time they start going. I think it's gonna be like 23, 24, 25 by the time they get. Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the $1 Million Challenge. So in today's video, we are going to talk about Tesla today. We're going to do a quick Tesla update like I always do. And also we're going to look at some of the new things that's going on with Tesla. Tesla just reported their numbers from China. So their delivery numbers from China just reported that. That is a big deal because that China number is quite big, and we're going to get into that all in today's video. Here is it right here. Here's the article that I want to share with you guys really quickly. As you guys can see, Tesla China delivery hits record in December. Okay, this is great for Tesla. They beat their previous record even after price of Model 3 and Model Y cars are raised. So they're raising prices everywhere because Tesla cannot meet them. They don't have the production capacity to be able to meet demand. And that's a good thing when you're in a business like this. You know, you're selling vehicles. You want more people to be able to want the cars, right, than you can make. So that means you can increase your production because, you know, more people want your products than you can serve, you know. But that's besides the point. Let's get back into the article really quickly. Tesla delivered a record 70,602 vehicles in December in China, beating its previous record of 52,153 in September. So let's do a quick back of the napkin calculator really quickly. So if you take this number, 70,602, that's the amount of vehicles they delivered in China in December of last year, most recent December. If we times this number, we just say, okay, every month they deliver the same thing. They don't increase their production. They don't increase their capacity. They deliver the same amount of vehicles every single month. Let's see how much this would be just from China alone. Okay, let's see. Times this by 12. You guys look at this. From China alone, just from China alone, they're going to be producing roughly next year. From China alone, they're going to be producing 847,000 vehicles. Almost, and I think they're going to increase this because they just recently announced that they're going to be hiring more people in China and they're going to increase their production in China. They want to hire 4,000 more people in China. So what does this mean? Let's take a quick look at what Tesla delivered last year. In general, let's take a quick look at that. So this is what Tesla delivered last year in total, just in general, from China, from America, all over the world. They delivered 936,000 vehicles, over almost 1 million vehicles just in general. Okay, so I think in 2022, which is the current year that we're in, Tesla can easily hit maybe 1.6, 1.7, almost 2 million vehicles delivered. And from the previous earnings calls that they've talked about, they've always said that they are looking at, in another 10 years time, they're looking to produce 20 million vehicles every year. And even if we talk about just the global vehicle production every year is about 80 to 90 million per year. So if Tesla is able to capture 20 million of that within the next 10 years, and we're moving from gas cars to electric vehicles, that is going to be a massive catalyst for just one part of their business, which is just the car business. Let us sink in real quick. So this number is just, if we take a look at the December number, of which I just showed you guys, this number is just the potential production from China alone just this year. They could be making over almost 1 million vehicles in China, and not to talk about the US, which they have two car factory, one in California that is already good and making cars, and they have one in Texas that they're trying to get that going, make sure that produce cars and everything like that. So this year is going to be a really good year for Tesla. And if we take a look at the stock price, we can see that the stock price has not actually, the price has not been reflected on the stock at all. If we take a quick look here, you can see that potential earnings for Tesla basically hasn't been factored into the stock price. First of all, the deliveries that they made this year alone, they delivered almost 1 million vehicles this year, and they are potentially going to deliver 2 million, or last year. They delivered 1 million last year, and they're potentially going to deliver 2 million in the following year. So right now, the stock price is at 1,000. Let's take a look at the performance for the week. For the week is up like 3%. It was really, really high before. It was up almost 1,100, but it went down a lot. So for me, I'm looking at this right now. It's a huge buying opportunity, because let's take a look at the past 1 year. Oh, it's risen nicely in the past 1 year, but I think the price should be higher than this already. Because I think even if I take a look at Wall Street estimate, let's see, I don't know if I can pull out Wall Street estimate here. Okay, so this is the quick Wall Street estimate right here. You can see 41% of people basically want you to just hold on to the stock, and 26% of people want you to sell it, which I don't think it makes any sense to sell Tesla stock, at this price point. But I don't know why people will be advising people to sell the stock, but it don't make any sense. A decent amount of people are saying you should buy, and a decent amount of people are saying you should hold on to it. Yeah, the stock price this hasn't really reflect the amount of production capacity, the things that they're doing. I think right now Tesla should easily be worth like 1,500. So I'm still a buyer. I'm gonna be dollar cost averaging into the stock. The potential for this company is just getting started. Okay, so let's take a look at my portfolio. Let me show you what I have for Tesla stock, and we'll just keep it moving from there. So before we get into the numbers, I just want to let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. This is a legal disclaimer. I know you guys probably hear this a lot from all the financial YouTubers, but it's really important that you get this. I'm not a financial advisor. I just educate. I just show you what I'm doing, so you get an education of what it's like to invest, and you can see some of the things that other investors look at
in order to make the decisions to invest. So don't take this as financial advice. This is just for educational purposes
and entertainment purposes, even though I'm not that funny. Anyways, not financial advice. Let's get back to it. So here we are. This is my current Tesla holdings, and we currently have about $26,250. Okay, a gain of $10,000, almost 11. Let's take a quick run through of how the stock has performed. Okay, so before we get into this, let me just quickly point something out, just in case you're new. Okay, what I do with this portfolio is I put in $30 every single day into the portfolio. I know there's better ways of doing it. Maybe I can wait until the stock dips or all those things. There's other ways of doing it. But personally, I just choose to put $30 in every day, buy it at different random prices. If the company do well and it goes up over time, my investment will go up. So from putting in $30 every single day since 2020, this is basically my result of that. This is basically my result from 2020. You guys can see I started this May 19th. 2020. I've put in a total of almost $15,000 that I put in, and it's currently, I have a almost $11,000 gain on it, 45% return. And the stock is doing well. The reason why I'm able to stay put is because I constantly keep an eye on what the company is doing. Okay, but before we get into anything else, let's take a quick look at the price. The current price is $10.40 and it's up $8 today. I own 25 shares. You know, I started from one, not even one, but at this point I own 25 shares, average of 598, almost 600, you know, costs $15,000. And the stock is currently a $1 trillion company. Now, I personally think Tesla is going to go to about 2, 3, 4, 5 trillion in the next 10 years. Okay. Because they are producing iPhones on wheels. That's what they're doing. They're producing iPhones on wheels. And each of this product, the average price is like $50,000. And that's just one segment of their business. They're also going after utility, electricity. They're going after AI. They're going after self-driving. So I don't personally know where the stock price will be 10 years from now. But one thing that I'm 100% certain of, one thing that I know for sure is 10 years from now, the stock price is going to be higher than it is now. You know, I don't know exactly how high, but I know it's going to be higher than it is now. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I bring this to you guys because $30 a day is something that everybody can afford to do. Everybody is able to do. Obviously, no financial advice. Read the disclaimer below. But for me personally, for my financial future, this is what I've decided to do. So let's get into how the stock is performed so far from the last update. So let's see. One day it's up, one day $200, and in the past week it's up 300 in the past week. In the past month here, it's up 1,900, almost 2,000 in the past month. In the past 3 months, it's up 4,596. This is great, 4,596. And in the past 1 year, it's up 5,587. You know, and all I do is put in $30 every day into the stock. And let's look at all time, it's almost $1,000. Let's take a quick look at the transaction section where I show you what I'm actually doing. So here we are. I always love to do this because it's always good to be transparent with your audience, you know, with this whole YouTube business. If you like the level of transparency, give the video a like, give the video a sub. Appreciate you for that. Give the channel a sub. I appreciate you for that. So here we are, Tesla, you know, look at the dates here. Every day I go in, and the days that I miss any, I usually would put in a little bit more. So every day I go in and I buy, you know, $30. You guys can check the dates. Every day that the market is open, I go in. Whenever the stock dips quite hard, I buy a little bit more, buy a little bit more, and I buy a little bit more. So yeah, this is the proof here. Let's take a quick look at all the other dates. Let's see, all the way to November. Beginning of November, I will show you guys too. You guys can check out my other Tesla updates, which I'm going to link some of the videos. Here, you will see I do the same thing. Relatively straightforward. I put in $30 every day, and I show you the results of that $30. And here is the result of that $30. Basically, I think the stock is going to be the best performing stock that I'm going to own in my portfolio for the next 10-20 years. And you know, I'm looking forward to sharing this with you guys. People might look at this as though this is trivial, but it's actually very important, so you can see how other people are doing, managing their money and everything like that. So it's very important to be able to keep track of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you a quick news item, what other analysts, what other people are saying in the news media about Tesla production and everything like that. So let's take a quick look at that.
Analysis from Wedbush. Tesla is gearing up to begin production of its Model Y vehicle in the coming days. Here with more on that, what it means for the car maker and the EV race, is Dan Ives, Wedbush Managing Director and Senior Equity Analyst, along with Yahoo Finance's Danny Romero. Dan, thanks so much for being here. We've got Dan and Danny. I want to start off by saying, you know, Tesla has what I call a really high-class problem. It's always had more.
That's what I keep saying too. It's a good problem to have. Okay, the company have more orders than production. A good problem to have.
demand than it has supply. So how important is this Austin production facility along with the one that's coming online in Berlin, especially as, you know, there are legacy car makers like Ford and GM that are now jumping on the bandwagon and getting into the EV race?
Yeah, look, in terms of what we're seeing from a capacity right now, I mean, Tesla doesn't have a demand issue, it's a supply issue. That's why Berlin and especially Austin are so important to what I believe is reaching about 2 million units by
I agree. I agree with that too. I think, you know, just take a look at the China number that I just showed you. Just only China alone, they are at over 800,000. If let's say they never ramp up or throughout this year, which it looks like they are doing, they're looking to hire more people in China. So the ramp up is gonna be good, and that 2 million, it looks like it's gonna happen.
the end of this year. That would double capacity.
Yep.
And in terms of what we're seeing, it's a $5 trillion market opportunity in terms of EV, and it's the biggest transformation to the auto industry since 1950s. But for Tesla, the linchpin to the success from here on forward continues to be expanding supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dan, following to that note, you know, I read your note where you said that launching obviously production in the Lone Star State would alleviate supply chain bottlenecks, also accelerate production. What are your expectations on how soon would cars begin to be rolling off the assembly line?
Yeah, I mean, based on all of our work, you know, in and around Austin, we think starting next week, we're going to get into the early
Next week, and this recording was made on January 11th, so like by maybe January 22, 21. That's nice if they can start by that time.
stages of what I believe are cars rolling off the plant. Now, a formal announcement is something the street is looking to expect probably on the company's conference call in later this month.
Looking forward to that, guys, and also stay tuned, because I will be breaking that down like I normally do. I will be breaking that down, talking about adding my commentary to exactly what they're doing in what they say in the earnings call.
But it's important because Austin launching by January and ultimately Berlin getting through some of the red tape in Europe probably by mid to late February, that's really right now what the street's looking for to expand that capacity. And you know, I think when you look at Austin in particular, it's been very smooth in terms of the build out. Hiring's been very strong over the last few months. And that's why Musk has made such a bet on Austin in terms of that being really the golden jewel of the ecosystem.
Yeah, and that Austin factory is huge. It's pretty big.
And Dan, you know, let's go to China. Tesla's profitability in China is a lot higher in the US, but with all the recent challenges with supply and demand, do you still see that that's a growth opportunity?
Supply and demand challenges, no, they're hiring people to solve the problem. So it's not really a supply problem. It's people want the car. The demand is high. So they gotta come up with a supply, I guess. But the demand is high for the vehicles everywhere, all over the world.
Opportunity there?
China has been really one of the keys to success, and we saw it in terms of 4Q deliveries.
Yep.
And we think China is going to be about over 40% of deliveries for Tesla in 2022. It's a tightrope in terms of China. You have domestic
40%.
competition increasing across the board, geopolitical issues, U.S.-China cold tech war. But if you look what's happening right now, that China growth story is actually accelerating for Tesla into 2022. And that we believe is worth about $500 per share to the story. And it's something we believe is
Just China alone, he thinks is worth about $500. That's pretty cool.
underestimated by the street, which is why we have a $1,400 base case price target.
And Dan, just to reiterate what I said earlier, there has been huge demand for these cars and supply has been the issue trying to keep up. So what's your prediction for production capacity by the end of this year? You know,
2 million, man. 2 million. I think that 2 million, they could get to that pretty easily. And that would put them well over 50% growth for this year alone.
Tesla has constantly struggled with that issue.
Yeah, we think about 2 million will be capacity by the end of this year. I think the
Easily.
chip shortage starts to moderate significantly going into February, March across the board. Tesla's been a little more Teflon-like there. And I think this is one where, as they navigate,
Hmm.
right now in EV land, a lot of competitors. We think it's not a zero-sum game. Ford's going to be successful at GM, Lucid, VW in Europe, and of course, NIO in China. But overall, in EV land, as Tesla's world, everyone else is paying rent at this point, and that's what we're seeing play out in Q4.
Yeah.
Dan, just to wrap this up really quick, I saw an analyst note from Morgan Stanley that pretty much classified the EV race as a marathon and says that Tesla is on lap 21 and the others are pretty much lagging behind. Maybe
No, they just okay. I think Diane is gonna address that properly. Let's listen in. You see his face right there. Look, the guy looks like he's smiling. Like nah, girl, you're saying the wrong thing right there.
be per se lap number 2. Do you have a similar sentiment to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great sort of way to put it because it's about the moat from the supercharger. It's about the battery technology and distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one where Tesla continues to kind of expand that lead. You're going to have competitors from all shapes and sizes. And the haters will continue to hate in terms of Tesla, but what they're proving, and I think you're seeing with Austin, you'll see with Berlin, they're just further flexing their muscles going 2022.
All right, Dan.
So there you go. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give the video a like if you do. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. Check out all the other things that I'm up to. If you're interested and you like what I'm doing on this channel, give the channel a sub so you can stay up to date. You never know when you see other people do something. You never know what it can spark in your head and what opportunities that can open up for you, because that has certainly worked for me. So yeah, I appreciate you for checking out the channel. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much. See you later. Love you all. Bye.
Weezer.